Nice.
Hey.
Hey. Great work.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a sick race.
Are you good to sand?
Yeah, probably my favourite sort of riding is sand. I've done a lot of sand riding. Oh yeah. Good. Yeah, and back home where I live, there's a lot of sand, like sand dunes and stuff. So yeah, this sort of riding's right up my alley. Yeah. So no, it was fun. I had a good battle. I think it might have been halfway through or something. Me and Atsuda had a mad battle. That was really fun. So that was cool. And then after that, I kind of didn't really see anyone after that. I was just trying to log some laps. It was good. It was fun. Had a really fun race actually. It's very cold, but it was good because I didn't get hot when I was riding. So felt strong all the way through. It was good.
Do you have a mistake in log?
Yeah, 2 times. I got 2 times I got caught, and it was like a 35-something second detour.
Oh, really?
So, and then because they said at the riders' briefing you can only get 1 try. If you miss, you have to go around. So twice I got stuck, like I missed it and then fell back.
Oh, good.
It was, yeah, but it's. I'm probably not the only one that made that mistake. Otherwise, it was just. I crashed off the start. I don't know if you saw that.
Crash?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. I went cartwheeled straight over the bars. So I was dead last.
Really?
And then by the time we got to the logs on the first lap, many people must have taken the detour, and I went over logs, so I came out third. Yeah, but I was last off the start. Yeah, today's been a really good race. The JNCC put on such a great event. I'm really excited to come here every time, and they just seem to keep making better and better races. And this one, for me, I love sand, but this for me was the most exciting race to come to. I've really had a great time, and everyone's always very helpful and nice. All the Japanese people are very nice. Such a good experience for me every time.
Usually you go sightseeing
Yeah.
in Japan.
Yeah.
So but tomorrow?
So usually I try and make a week out of every trip. This time it's a little bit shorter because I have to get home and race on Saturday in Australia. But I have tomorrow, Monday, so we will clean the bikes and then I'll try and do some sort of sightseeing. I've done several trips to Kyoto, been into Osaka and Universal Studios and that sort of stuff in the previous trips.
Yeah.
This trip so far not so much, but yeah, maybe do something on Monday. But I always try and look around and make the most of it.
How about next week race?
Yeah, so next week will be the first Australian Enduro Championship round. We've recently signed with Triumph in Australia, so we'll be riding a Triumph 250X over there. So that's kind of exciting. They're only starting in Australia, so it's kind of exciting to be a part of that early on. And yeah, we will race a 3-hour cross country on the Saturday. So it's and it's quite hot in Australia now, so it's going to be a tough race. And then we race sprints on the Sunday, so we always have two days of racing. So the Australian Enduro Championship has, been a good stepping stone for many Australian riders that have become world champions, Dakar champions, you name it. Toby Price, Daniel Sanders, Daniel Milner, Stefan Merriman, there's many riders, Will Ruprecht, have come from that series. So I think it is a very strong series. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I've done many seasons there now, getting towards my end of the career, I guess you'd say, but the Australian series has been really great.
How many people ride Triumph in Australia?
So on Triumph?
Yes, how many people ride?
I think it's just me and my partner Emily that will be racing Triumph in Enduro. They have some smaller motocross teams. But they're only starting up now, so they're quite fresh in Australia.
Only you?
I think so, in Enduro. I think me and my partner Emily are the only ones that are supported at the moment. They have motocross and some other guys. But like I said, I don't know everything, so there might be someone that shows up on them, but yeah, it's kind of new, and they're not they're just starting, right? So they're starting and want to build something in Australia. So I've been with KTM and Husqvarna over the last couple of years, and that opportunity was no longer. So to land with Triumph now has been really exciting. Yeah, we look forward to it.
Today, you paid 250. It's I need more power.
Need more power? Yeah, well, it's kind of exciting for me because I've been racing big 500s for the last few years, and before that was 450. So when I jump back on a 250, I kind of feel like younger. Like I feel like I'm like, oh, I need to be a bit more aggressive, this and that. And I might not be faster than I was on a 500, but I'm enjoying the experience of riding a smaller bike and being agile and just throwing it around. Like even today on this thing, I feel like I was, and I felt like I was riding quite fast on it. So it's exciting, and I feel rejuvenated, if that makes sense. Feel younger, riding a 250.
I saw you several times. Did you use high gear?
Today?
Yeah.
High gear?
High gear.
Oh, as high as the bike will allow me to. Yeah.
It seemed so smooth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely trying to use the highest possible gear that I can to get the drive, and then sometimes I have to come down. But there's no point just rev limit. It doesn't go anywhere. So yeah, I definitely try and use the highest possible gear I can. Yeah. I feel like a big thing as well in these sort of sand tracks is actually not slowing down too much in the chop and trying to fly over it. And sometimes you might overshoot corners a little bit, but like if you can just fly over the chop into corners and then get your corner, I find on these things is quite good. Whereas I saw a lot of the other guys today, they were like taking their time in the chop, and it's like they lose so much time in entry in corners. So as long as your suspension is safe enough to just fly over it, I just try and not brake. Yeah. Yeah. Bye bye. So yeah, it's been exciting, and I've done, this is my 5th JNCC race I've done. I did 4 last year, and this was to me really amazing. It opened my eyes to what they can do here, because in Australia they don't allow us riding on a place like this.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, government and they will not allow that. So it's really cool to see how the Japanese government and council and the mayor that was here today are really for that. So I think that's really cool, and I think many countries could take and learn from that it's possible. Because when they released the race was going to be at this place, the JNCC were very clear, if one person comes here and rides on this place, there will be no race. They were very clear from the start, and I think the riders appreciate to be able to ride here one time a year so much that obviously no one's raced here. No one's come here to practice. So as long as you're clear with those sort of things, it proves that it's possible to race at a place like this. Yeah.
Okay, so how about Yoshi's machine?
Sorry?
How about Yoshi's bike?
Yeah, Yoshi's bike. So it's Bivouac Osaka and IG3 suspension, and Yoshi, they have helped me with this bike, and it's been great. We put the MC motocross, the air forks in the bike. I'd never tried them before, so I tried them on Friday, and I was a bit scared to try them because I've never tried an air fork, and I'm like, okay, let's just try it. And I was like, whoa, this thing's good. So yeah, ran the air fork, and then Yoshi's like exhaust and stuff like that. Otherwise it's a standard bike. So I'm really happy with it. It works really well, and the guys from Bivouac Osaka and IG3 suspension have been so helpful, and Yoshi and everyone around it, Sugimura, the owner, everyone's been really helpful to get me here. So I'm really thankful.
What different you and Japanese riding technique? Sand.
Well, for the sand, I guess there might not be that many places to ride sand here. I ride a lot of sand, and a lot of Australian riders, I guess, and you see European riders, they ride a lot of sand to get that real base fitness and that brutality. You need to be kind of brutal in the sand. You need to be able to just hit stuff. And if you don't ride that, it's very hard to be fast at it. So I think the only real difference between the Australian riders and the Japanese riders is we maybe ride it more. And we have more races in the sand. That's the only thing I can put at. Because they've obviously, like I've been beat many times here now last year in the technical enduro. They're very fast. And I'm not winning overall in Australia, but like I'm quite high up there anyway. But like the level of a Japanese rider in a technical aspect is really high, I believe. Yeah. So maybe they just need to work on the sand. But Kihiro was very fast today. He was fast. And Manabu was very fast. So they weren't too far behind. So yeah, I mean, it was good.
Why so growing up? How about for example, Jet Lawrence and Hunter Lawrence and
Yeah, I think that there is a level of support from New Zealand, Australian manufacturers.
Yeah.
There is a number of people that can race at a professional level when they're quite young. There isn't many, but there is some. And then so if you're young coming up and then you can actually race at a professional level with support, I think that really brings up the level of all the riders. But that doesn't mean it's going to come easy. Like it might not, you know, everyone has to work for it. The Lawrences haven't had an easy story of how they've come up. They've had to work really hard for it. But I definitely see in Australia there is a level of support where riders, if you're very fast at a young age, you can get paid rides to be a professional rider. We have now Caden Minnar, he's an Australian guy, he's on the Star Yamaha amateur team that Cole Davies was on last year. He's come up through the ranks in Australia. We have a young guy called Kyron Bacon. He's been the top guy in the AORC for the last few years. He's riding a Kawasaki in Enduro GP this year. So those guys get to a certain level and then they want to go elsewhere, America, Europe or something like that. But to get to that point, I think it's the level of support that's available in the country. Yeah, I mean, you just have to practice a lot. And if you work in a full-time job, it's very difficult to practice as much as maybe required and rest. I've only done a few years in my life where I haven't worked full-time. So I've always been working at the same time. So I would have loved to have the opportunity more to be full-time professional, but it's not easy to get that opportunity, right?
Thank you so much.
No problem, anytime.